All right, let's begin. My name is Caroline Sprance, and I am the Client Solutions Manager. And with me today is Director of Business Development, Jeff Cohen.
Thanks for having me, Caroline. I just want to quickly mention, we are hosting this demonstration on a webinar platform, and due to the increased remote attendees and meetings caused by the current public health crisis, these platforms are experiencing a significant saturation. As a result, webinar platforms are throttling bandwidth, and some users may experience some lag or performance degradation. Users will not experience this when you use RemoteDepo, since it is not actually a webinar platform. Just wanted to point that out before we get started today on this presentation.
During the demonstration, please feel free to take advantage of the chat feature within this webinar to submit your questions. And at the conclusion of the demonstration, we will address any questions not currently included in our FAQ document, and then provide an update to our RemoteDepo resource page. And then if you have colleagues that were not able to join us today, we will be recording this webinar. And then we're going to also be posting that on that same resource page I indicated before. So please feel free to share, and we do hope you will both find it helpful. We will be reviewing these RemoteDepo features with you today. With RemoteDepo, you can participate virtually in depositions, mediations, and arbitrations from the comfort of your home. With a webcam-equipped device, all participants can be viewed virtually and in real time. So we're going to review a number of the features RemoteDepo offers today, but I want to highlight just a few right here. RemoteDepo provides a secure, dedicated virtual room for an unlimited number of participants, including your remote court reporter. You can receive a text stream of the testimony from the reporter as well. And then in addition, you will have the RemoteDepo technical support team as needed for the entirety of your deposition. So let's review how easy it is to conduct a RemoteDepo event. Our scheduling team will circulate an invitation to all participants, inviting them to test their connection in advance of the deposition. And then on the day of the deposition, participants can log in by simply clicking the link provided in the email invitation. It really is as simple as just clicking the link to join. So you can see here multiple participants, but you also have the option of pinning or spotlighting the witness frame so that view shows only the witness enlarged. And of course, any participant can turn their camera off and or mute their microphone at their will. RemoteDepo also has a chat feature that allows participants to chat with the group and share exhibits. Now, I'm going to switch to a live event right now just to quickly demonstrate how easy it is to share your exhibits with the participants. All right, so this is the view that you'll see when you click on the link from the RemoteDepo invitation. We suggest that the first thing you do is turn on your video, and you can do this by hovering your mouse over at the bottom of the control panel, and on the left side, click on the Start Video icon. And you can turn off your camera simply by clicking the same video icon, just as I did. So make sure if you have a camera cover blocking your webcam that you remove it or open it. All right, so next let's look at how to connect your audio. You can do this by hovering your mouse over the bottom of the control panel and clicking on the Join Audio icon all the way on the far left. When you click that, a white box will pop up with multiple audio options. These options include phone call, computer audio, and call me. Now, while you can join via computer audio here in the center, we do recommend that you instead join by phone for optimal audio quality, much like we did for this webinar. Now, if you click on the phone call option over here on the left, you'll see that there are 6 phone numbers listed. You can choose to call any one of these 6. There are multiple options so that you can pick the one with an area code closest to your location. And then once you're dialed in, the platform will then prompt you to input your meeting ID number, which is unique to each deposition and that is found below the phone numbers right here. You will then be prompted to input your unique participant ID number, which is found below the meeting ID. Make sure that you input this participant ID number. Very important, because it syncs your video and your audio together for the duration of the deposition. Now, there's a third option, the call me option, and this is the easiest option to join your audio. I'm going to just end my audio for a second. Apologies, but I actually joined in via my phone. What you'll do when you go for the call me option is you will input your phone number. And once you've input your phone number, and I've turned off this feature just because I'm not going to input a random number for you, you'll just input your number. This box down here where it says call me will light up blue. And then you'll just click call me. And what will happen is the program itself will dial the number you input and call you directly. And that program automatically facilitates the syncing of your audio and your video. So again, just like joining is simply by clicking, calling me and joining by your audio is also possibly as simple as just clicking a button. All right, so now that we have gone through some of the basic setup, let's talk about sharing the exhibits during the deposition. Exhibits will be shared via the chat feature. To open the chat box, just hover your mouse over the bottom control panel again, and then click on the center icon labeled Chat. This will open the chat window on the right-hand side of your screen. Your digital exhibits can be presented during questioning by a simple drag and drop or by clicking on this file icon right here on the bottom right. We recommend that you create a dedicated folder on your desktop with the exhibits you want to introduce for ease. It's helpful to name the files by the witness's name and then the exhibit number. And I'll show you that I've done that shortly on my own desktop. Now, introducing an exhibit is as simple as selecting this file icon in the lower right corner again in the chat box. When you click on that, a window will open and you can browse to a dedicated folder, the one that I mentioned that you previously created, where you, for ease, might have labeled your exhibit with the witness's name and the exhibit number. Now, simply select the file you want to introduce, highlight it blue, and then click all the way down to the bottom right here, and then click on the button that says Open. And this will automatically place the file or exhibit within the chat box. And this publishes it to all participants, including your court reporter. Now, once the exhibit is shared with the group, including your court reporter, participants can simply click download to save to their own desktop. That will list right here, that download button. All file formats can be shared, and individual file sizes as large as 500 megabytes can be accommodated. At the conclusion of the deposition, your court reporter will mark the deposition exhibits with an official exhibit stamp and then submit those to the U.S. Legal Support Production Team. Our team then produces your transcript with the reporter certificate, hyperlinks all exhibits to the transcript, and then produces to each ordering parties. And of course, these files are also available to all ordering parties in the U.S. Legal Support Client Portal 24/7, wherever you are. And lastly, you do have the option of requesting that your deposition or proceeding be recorded. Now, real quick, I just want to show you one more time. You click that file button, go to your dedicated folder on your desktop, highlight an exhibit until it's blue, click on the Open button, and that exhibit is published. So again, very quick and easy click buttons, drag and drop if you like. Exhibit sharing is nice and simple. All right, now I'm just going to quickly come back into our webinar here. Because for those of you that might be conducting multiple depots on one case or want to maintain a central digital collection of exhibits in a complex matter, we do suggest that our Instant Exhibit Plus product is probably the best one to add on to our services. So at this time, I'm going to have Jeff start walking us through how easy it is to use Instant Exhibit Plus.
Thank you, Caroline. Instant Exhibit Plus is capable of handling the most complex matter, regardless of volume of data or the number of parties involved in the litigation. So the Instant Exhibit Plus platform is actually the tool of choice that was used on a number of large ongoing complex cases that we've managed, which include the William Tower litigation here in San Francisco. During that case, U.S. Legal Support actually facilitated the simultaneous sharing of exhibits with participants in San Francisco, Los Angeles, London, and New York. Let me go ahead and turn off my webcam so we can focus on the platform for a minute here. As you can see, for today's demonstration, we are using the U.S. v. Kenneth Lay matter. So when you first log into the Instant Exhibit Plus platform, you will see two folders displayed on your screen. You'll see a shared exhibit folder, and you'll also see a private folder on your screen that has your firm's name listed next to it. The shared exhibit folder is where you will find any exhibits which have already been introduced during depositions in the litigation. Private folder is where you or your team members can upload any potential exhibits you may introduce during the depositions. Now, in order to actually introduce any exhibits during a deposition, you will first need to upload them into your private folder. We advise doing so prior to the date of the deposition as part of your depo prep. However, you can also upload documents on the fly during the deposition if need be. And these private folders are protected, they have restricted access, and they only allow access to the members of your team who you designate to view the contents. No other party can be involved in the case viewing these documents or the downloaded options that exist in the platform. These are specifically private folders. So let's go ahead and select this private folder and take a look. Now, once you've selected the private folder, you will be able to create individual subfolders for all of your upcoming deponents. It's very easy. To do so, just move your mouse to the top right of the screen and select New. You will then select Folder. Once you've opened up that screen, you will enter the required information. So for the folder name, we recommend the name should be the deponent's first and last name, as well as the actual date of the deposition. The next step would be actually inviting the rest of your team members to access this folder. Now, you can add as many or as few team members as necessary by just entering their email addresses and separating them with a semicolon. If you have a joint defense counsel or other members from other law firms that should be accessing this folder, you can also invite them here as well. Once you have your team members listed, you can assign their permission level to the folder itself. We recommend leaving everybody as an editor. This will allow your team members to upload, download, view, and remove documents as they assist you in your depo prep process. Now, the next step would just be simply hitting Create, and you're done establishing your folder. What you'll see is on the top of your screen, there's a green notification banner that alerts you the folder was created successfully, but you'll also see the folder appear directly on your screen. The next step is easy. Just select the folder that you've just created. And here you can upload any potential exhibits that you may wish to use during the deposition. These are not required to be introduced as deposition exhibits, but when you upload them, you then have the opportunity to do so. When you first created that folder, you'll also note there are no documents in the folder in this section below because you have not actually gone through the upload process yet. The upload process is very simple. On the top right of your screen, simply click the upload icon. You then have the option of selecting either an individual file or the entire folder from your computer or other source. Now, you can upload any file type to this web platform, up to 5 gigabytes per individual file. And once the file is actually uploaded, you will receive an alert at the top of your screen to notify you the process was done complete. Now, for the purpose of this demonstration, we're jumping back into the private folder, one level up, and we're going to use the Kenneth Lay deposition folder as an example. So as you can see, our team has already gone through the process of uploading quite a few potential exhibits that we would use in our deposition. So we recommend, as you can see, using a naming designation that makes it very easy for you to quickly locate your exhibit and introduce it during the proceedings. Now, if your case has established consecutive exhibit numbering, our production team will later rename the exhibits that are introduced, ensuring that the file names match the correct format and number. You can also rename the exhibits directly on the screen after they've been uploaded if you so choose to do so. Now, once you've uploaded all your documents and named them, the process is complete. So we can fast forward to the actual day of the deposition itself. To show you what that'll look like, I'm going to open up a second browser window on the top of the screen here. And we're going to demonstrate what you do if you're attending the deposition as a passive participant. So the first step is selecting that shared folder on your screen. Now, remember, this is a folder that all parties will have ongoing access to for the duration of the case. You'll see there are already folders created by the U.S. Legal Support team when you log into the shared exhibit folder, which lists the deponent's names and dates of depositions. So all you need to do is go ahead and select the folder for the deponent you are attending the deposition of. You will be ready to view all of the exhibits as they are introduced in real time. The folder will be empty at the beginning of the deposition because no exhibits have been introduced yet, and you will just need to simply leave this browser window open for the duration of the deposition, and you will be notified whenever an exhibit is ready for your viewing. So I'm going to jump back over to what we're going to call the questioning attorney view in the private folder. If you're leading the questioning during the deposition and plan to introduce exhibits, you'll need to select your private folder and select that witness-specific folder that your team created. And you will leave this page open for the duration of the deposition. When the time comes for you to introduce your exhibits, you simply hover over the document, you move your mouse to the right side of the screen, select the three-dot icon, which is More Options, and then select Move or Copy. There's two options here. You can select the Move button at the bottom, which would actually remove the document from your private folders and place them into the shared folder. However, if you select the Copy button instead, you'll leave the original file in your private folder while still moving a copy to the shared folder for all the other participants to see. So we'll need to select a destination. So we're going to select the shared exhibit folder and the folder specifically of the deponent being deposed today. We'll then just hit Copy. And on our screen, we will see a green notification banner as soon as the process is complete. During your questioning, you would simply announce to all the participants that the exhibit is ready for viewing, and they can take a look. So let's jump back over to the passive participant view now to see what it looks like on that end of the screen. You'll notice you still don't see any exhibits. All you need to do is simply refresh your web browser, and the exhibit will appear on your screen. You can do so by selecting the search bar and hitting Enter, or hitting the reload icon on your web browser. Once you see the document, feel free to click directly on the link. You can view this document on the web, you can download it to your computer, or you can open it in another program. To exit view, you simply click the X on the top right of the screen. Nothing you do on your screen impacts the view of anybody else on their independent computer. This is specifically your view on your computer. So let's go ahead and introduce one more exhibit to demonstrate the process. So I'm going to jump back over to the private folder and the questioning attorney view. To introduce exhibit B, I'm just going to go ahead and hover over the link, select the More Options button, hit Move or Copy, and then I will select the opponent's folder located in the Shared Exhibits tab and hit Copy. Now, once again, when this process is complete, you will notice a green notification banner at the top of the screen. I'll announce to the rest of the participants that the exhibit has been introduced and is available for viewing. So let's jump back over to the passive participant web view on our second browser window. And again, we will simply just need to refresh the web page in order to see the document. So as you can see, we still see one document. We simply refresh the web browser page, and the second document appears. There, you can click on the document and view it on the web. You can download it to your computer with the icons on the top of your screen, or open the document in another program altogether. When you're done viewing, simply click the X on the top right to return to the previous screen. Now, all file formats can be shared, and individual files as large as 5 gigabytes can be accommodated. Using Instant Exhibit Plus is just this simple. Now, for those of you who wish to focus solely on the questioning during the deposition, we can also provide a deposition technician who will handle the exhibit introduction process on your behalf at your direction. You would simply need to have a request made into U.S. Legal Support, and our Depo Tech would be an active participant in your deposition and would handle all of the introduction on your behalf.
Great, thank you so much, Jeff. Okay, so with the current work from home situation, we're all adapting to what has become the new normal, and that presents some unique and sometimes amusing situations. So we did want to also share with you just a couple of recommendations and best practices in handling these remote depositions. One of them is we do suggest conducting testing the day prior to the deposition. We want to make sure that your internet, Wi-Fi, hardwire connection, however you're connected, is has a solid flow of internet going. We suggest for best performance and the upload speed of about 500 megabytes per second. There's a number of places that you can just Google to do a speed test. Here is one here on the screen that you can just dial in to get a quick and easy test to make sure that you are running at that optimum speed. And then we also suggest that you preload any exhibits that you anticipate using for that deposition the day before in a dedicated folder on your desktop or in the IE Plus private folder that you have created. And then the day of the deposition, we definitely recommend that you attend starting about 15 minutes before, maybe even a little bit earlier, just to make sure that there aren't any unforeseen hiccups and that everything is smoothly running. We will have a Depo tech available at that time. So if there are any questions you have that are still pending, that tech could also assist you at that time as well. And it gives you just a little bit of prep time so that when you're ready to start your deposition, you start running straight up and going just like you would in a face-to-face situation. Some best recommendations and best practices for the environment around you. One of them, we do suggest that you have a clean background, nothing too cluttered, maybe a bookshelf or a picture. You can go as stark as I went, just so that what people are seeing when they are talking to you, the focus is more you than anything behind you because you want to be front and center. And then for your attire, at least from the waist up, make sure you're wearing something professional, something that you would wear within a face-to-face deposition. Whether you're remote or you're in the room with somebody, it's the same kind of feel. So your attire will help to create that feel. But if you still want to wear those comfy slippers or your more comfortable pants, don't worry, nobody can see you there. Just make sure the waist up, you're good to go. And then we do suggest that you mute your microphone if you're not talking, email notifications, your cell phone, turn those on mute as well. Whether you have a radio going, turn off the music, or your TV, mute that as well, just so that all the distractions that are around you are minimized so that there's nothing to pull you away from the remote situation. And then the same thing for the people that you are remotely currently surrounded by, whether they are your children, your partner, your fur babies, however that may be. You can give your dog a chew toy. If you have a kid, maybe there's that one movie or that one art task that they've been dying to do, and this is a great time for them to do that because they will be fully engaged in what they're doing so that you are able to be fully engaged in the remote deposition. Just try to create a minimized version of distractions around you, just like you would when you close the door on that conference room when you're in a face-to-face situation. Now, in addition to keeping you on track with remote solutions for your depositions, U.S. Legal Support also offers a full suite of litigation support services, including record retrieval services. No one knows records like we do, and as a result, our strategically placed hubs across the country and our very robust digital infrastructure, our record retrieval services continue to be available and fully operational nationwide. We also have interpreting and translation services. We have a team of more than 3,000 interpreters, fluent in a vast range of languages, including ASL, American Sign Language. So from Afghani to Zulu, we definitely have you covered. We offer trial services as well for those of you that may be working to maintain your trial preparation schedule in the midst of the current challenges. We offer online jury research and consulting services through our trial division Decision Quest. And we also have transcription services. So if you have virtual meetings or business recordings that you need transcribed, our team of professional transcriptionists can provide a transcript with a quick turnaround. You can learn more about these services on our website at uslegalsupport.com. Thank you for spending time with us today to review both RemoteDepo and Instant Exhibit Plus. If you have any additional questions, let us know. We're happy to answer some of those. We have a little bit of time left, so Jeff and I are going to just dive into a couple Q&A questions a little bit. Jeff, did you see one pending right over there? Do you want to hit up the first one, or do you want me to pull one up first?
I can go right ahead. That's okay. It's more of a, sounds like a process question, more about the time of depositions on these new remote platform. Well, you'll note it's not going to be any longer than your traditional depositions once you work into a working flow, really. The initial remote deposition that you take, if your team and the opposing counsel all go through these trainings, all are comfortable on the web platform, so you can experience a pretty seamless transition from in-person depositions to a remote deposition. Where we notice any general lag time is where individuals have not taken the preparatory steps of learning the platform, preparing their digital exhibits, pretty much coming in unprepared. That can definitely drive the deposition into a longer time frame. So if you take these steps and really become comfortable with the platform as best you can prior to the deposition, you'll have a smooth flow and nothing will really change in your overall timing on the job itself.
Great. All right. Any questions that were thrown in here? We're a little short on time today. We wanted to dive in a little bit deeper than usual. Don't worry, we will add any questions that aren't already on our FAQ document to our newest, we'll update that FAQ document. You can find that on our resource page. Thanks again for spending time with us. If you want to learn more about services beyond using that resource page, do feel free to contact your U.S. Legal Support rep, or you can email us at hello@uslegalsupport.com. And thanks again for joining us. Wishing you all continued health and safety, sanity as well, and we'll see you on the remote side.
Thank you all.